I never heard of a Grand Slam being in Costa Rica. Grand Slam would be a permit, Bonefish, and a Tarpon, all in one day.
We got a permit, we got a bonefish. A Grand Slam is possible. All we have to do is catch one of these giant tarpon. And all we've been trying to do this whole week is catch a giant tarpon. The only thing standing between us and accomplishing something that may never have been done before.
Where we are at is at the very end of the road in Costa Rica along the southern Caribbean, just above the border of Panama. We're going to be tucked away into the canopy of the jungle and literally the thick part of the jungle right up to the coast's edge.
I'm here in Costa Rica to come down and experience a fishery that Mark's been talking about a long time. It's the end of the road. The end of the road can mean the end of all things, but I think for Mark and I, it's the beginning.
We're here in April. This is when the seas set down, the fishing gets hot. Our fishery here is mainly giant tarpon, what we consider trophy fish of 100 plus pounds.
We're here to chase giant tarpon, but Mark's been talking about this pretty amazing permit fishery right up the road from here. I'm pretty excited to go take a look at that.
I'm excited to get Alex down here, as we do have a permit fishery and bone fishery, a great trigger fishery, so there's more there, but one, I want to get him pulling on big fish. Two, I wouldn't mind seeing if maybe there's a chance of a slam or something.
Mark and I have had a lot of success chasing some pretty hard to catch species and some pretty hard to accomplish things in a day of fly fishing, so I wouldn't expect anything to be different.
To get a tarpon to the boat, you need many things to go right for you. The odds are in favor of the tarpon.
Mark hooks a nice fish, a big fish. It comes out of the water and this fish looks well over 100 pounds to my eye.
We get 2-3 jumps out of him. I'm still tight. I know there's a chance. I know I got that hook in him good.
Fish is running, fish is pulling out line. And with pulling out that line, we notice there's a pretty large knot He'd been pulling on this fish for at least 3 or 4 minutes, so this line had been pulled tight. So do we try and get this knot out? Does he reel it in? We have to get the knot out. So we start working on the knot. I'm working on the knot. Tony comes around me, puts his hands on the line to try and give me a little slack, and in turn ends up hand lining the tarpon slowly in, hoping this fish doesn't make a move the whole time, as I'm very slowly trying to unwork a knot that a 100-pound tarpon has pulled tight. I'm pretty stressed, you know, now being on point with, tasked with getting this knot out of Mark's line. And so I'm working on this line, you know, wondering, oh, am I gonna get this out? Am I gonna let him down? Is something gonna go wrong? And I look over and Mark's sitting down drinking water, taking a tarpon time out. You think it's gonna happen, you think you're gonna put hands on this fish, and Mark pulls like nobody else pulls, and had this fish right up next to the boat, and big fish, big gill plates, hard bony mouth, just cut through the line. We had successes and we had failures. You know, we had success in the form of finding fish, hooking fish, jumping fish, but actually putting our hands on the fish was just something that still seemed out of our reach.
There's a lot of things that go wrong. What we call bloody knuckles. Okay, you just gotta watch that handle. These fish run and run and run. If you keep your hand on there, you're gonna get smit.
Fly line broke.
It's frustrating. You know, you can come tight out there, you pull to set the hook, and you just don't get a jump. You know, it's just a big jack. You know, but when you're after that silver, you know, coming tight with a jack just doesn't quite do it.
Not a tarpon. You know, so much can go wrong as soon as that fish leaves the water and gets in the sky.
It can be hard, especially when you're not getting fish to the boat. You know, when you're jumping 13 fish and don't have one to show for it yet, you got to stay positive, you got to stay optimistic.
You can go from as excited and happy as you can be in a fly fishing element to as let down that it's over pretty fast.
We got multiple days of jumping fish and just not staying connected. We still don't have our hands on a fish. Tarpon fishing takes a lot out of people. And doing what we're doing 5 days in a row, it's time for a break. I could see things wearing.
We've had some difficulties. You know, now Mark says there's a pretty amazing permit fishery right up the road from here. Sounds like a nice little break to me.
So the Permit Flat is a small little flat, you know, not too far from Tarponville, where we fish with a guy, Roberto.
Permit fishery that we experienced was unlike any permit flat I'd ever fished. The jungle coming to the ocean, rolling off the sand straight into the Caribbean. We were gonna fish from the boat. I politely asked if I could get off and just take a walk around on my own. He had his son Junior come out with me and follow me around. Less than 5 minutes later, Junior spots a tail out of the water. We walk down to it, drop the fly next to it, the permit eats it. Permit on. You know, hadn't even been walking around for 30 minutes. Halfway back through bringing the fish in, and when the fish got close, you know, I wanted to grab this fish myself. But I kind of sensed that Junior, this might have been one of his first opportunities, and as it turns out, was his very first opportunity to tail a permit. So I allowed him, or I asked him, okay, you're gonna tail this fish. It was nerve-wracking, but I was happy to be able to be a part of that, be a part of his first time. In all honesty, as soon as I caught that permit, I thought, Grand Slam. You know, I want to go for the possibility of a Grand Slam. I wanted to go for something big.
Coming back up in the boat, and I look over, Alex tight again, and this time he's hooked up to a bonefish. So now we're bonefish in hand. You know, Alex and I look at each other, we both know it clicks. I mean, we can go for a Grand Slam here. He turns to me though, and I knew it was coming. He turns to me and says,
Where are your baby tarpon?
hate to tell you, bro, but there ain't no baby tarpon here. You're gonna have to, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna finish it with a big fish. So now things are coming together. We need to get to Tarponville, we need to get in a boat, and we need to go find a tarpon.
So now a Grand Slam was possible. All we have to do is catch one of these giant tarpon. And all we have to do, all we've been trying to do this whole week is catch a giant tarpon.
Oh! I never heard of a Grand Slam being in Costa Rica.
Since I started guiding, I never heard of a Grand Slam in Costa Rica.
It's time to get this done. You know, not only do we have the added pressure of we haven't gotten a fish or seen a fish to the boat, but now we got to accomplish this to, you know, to complete a Grand Slam. And, you know, chances are the fish is going to be a 100-pound fish. There's definitely some added pressure.
Mark pulls out a fly that he had tied himself, made just for this fishery.
I've got one left. That fly was Good Vibrations. That's the one pattern I have and keep in the bag for special occasions.
It wasn't long after I put Good Vibrations in the water that the line came tight.
Fish jumps, I get a good look at it. This fish is a big fish. It's a 100-pound fish.
Through the entire fight, every head shake, every jump, every line pull, every moment that anything besides me cranking on that fish and coming my direction was the thought in my head is this gonna work out? As a fisherman, you're an optimist. As a fisherman, you're also a little bit of a realist, and you know all those times you've been pulling on a fish and it just ends. But that never happens.
He was on the road to landing, you know, what could be Costa Rica's first Grand Slam. Fish came around, I knew we had something special.
Yeah, we did it!
Something that will remain with Alex and I for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, buddy.
We did it, man! Grand Slam Costa Rica!
All right, all right. Pura vida. Vida. Pura vida.
Jumping a lot of fish, just can't seem to get one to the boat. I don't know what we have to do.
Hey guys, if you want to get a tarpon, you have to do a tarpon dance.